road line has been specifically stated in certain roads in our society. How is that different from the proposed road widening? What does sanctioned road line mean? Does it mean now they will proceed with that widening without even any further consultation, or the width that has been decided now by the municipality? Thank you.
See, there are different forms of sanctioned road line. One is in Mahim there's a TP scheme, town planning scheme. Now the town planning scheme will show what is a sanctioned road line, what are the roads sanctioned. Then there are other road lines which are sanctioned by the commissioner himself, because commissioner under the Corporation Act also has powers to sanction road lines. Those are road lines sanctioned by the commissioner himself, and they are known as RLs. So there are town planning sanctioned road lines, there are road lines sanctioned by the development plan, plus in case that is not enough, commissioner has independent powers to sanction a road line also.
Just one more to continue. The fact that it's shown as sanctioned, it means that
it could be
it
either
go ahead with that widening.
If it is already sanctioned as an RL, he has the powers to go ahead. And he can only take open portion of lands, not constructed. Constructed has to acquire.
But will a court order restricting that or a stay work on that?
Open 99% of cases are lost, but constructed area you can't take.
Thank you.
No, normally there's no compensation. He says about compensation. In Bombay, nobody takes compensation because they prefer taking a TDR. TDR certificate gives them more compensation than money.
This has reference to Pali village.
Any more input on this?
It is sanctioned regular lines are earlier sanctioned by the corporation under the Act. And now in the proposed DP, they have marked the proposed road lines in which you have to leave the front open space from those boundaries. You need not hand over those roads now. Only sanctioned road line setbacks are to be handed over. The gross FSI will be allowed as far as draft DP is concerned. And if you want to go under 1991 DC regulation, you have to use the net area and deduct the setback and get the additional FSI out of it. So the difference is on the gross plot FSI on the proposed roads and net plot area with the sanctioned RFs. I think it is slightly technical terms, so the architects will understand much better.
Are the roads in Gautam village going to be widened? If yes, how do they propose to do so? What about the houses alongside the roads? This has reference to Pali village.
Okay, there may be construction, the road widening lines might be cutting through existing structures. So it does not mean that they will proceed to widen the roads and ask for demolishing the structure. What it means is that when these buildings redevelop, that time the setbacks will be, the road will be widened.
Okay, we stop now with the questions, and we would like to thank all our speakers for taking the time to come over here and share the views. If you've seen that we had speakers from macro to micro, that we've gone to speakers of advocates, architects, and developers and environmentalists. So we've given you a broad view of different perspectives of the whole DP plan. So we thank Anandami Thakur particularly, so that because she spoke to all the speakers, and because with her help that we've got this large number of speakers over here today. So thanks Anandami and all the speakers for coming today. And yeah, so if you want to contact any of the speakers for your questions, you may do so at a later date, or you can come up after this discussion and probably take the contact number and share that. And please do put in your objections and suggestions. See, there are these follow-up meetings that take place at the Thar library, there were two meetings. It's always on the Saturdays. Two meetings which have already been held, and it is different. When we say meetings, it's a different insight in the DP plan and for you all to understand what the DP plan. So it's not one, if you attend one does not mean you don't attend the other. So it's all different perspectives, different study. So please do go for the Khar library meeting. But I think it's not that tomorrow. And there is a draft objection cum suggestion which I think Mr. Chandrasekhar Prabhu is preparing one for us. Am I right?
There is a standard form. I'll send a form copy here. Actually, it can be even downloaded on the website, but I'll send a form to Anandini. You don't have to take photocopies of that. You have to write in that format and each objection be written. If you take a photocopy and sign, they may not accept it. It has to come in a format. So, couple of things you have to mention. I'll send a copy of the form.
I'm sharing with you the Khar library number, which is the reason is in case you want to contact and be in touch with any of the speakers. Through that, we are keeping one area, one representative where you can address and approach. So it's 2648 9001. And what are the timings, ma'am? From 8 to 7, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. you can contact. Whom do we contact, ma'am? Just leave a. Okay, so there'll be someone over there all the time. So you need to probably contact that number. And in case you're people from Bandra and Saint Sebastian, you can contact our society office and me. So from here, we will go ahead with. We have made already our own suggestion and objections. We'll probably require all of you to sign on that and probably give it. What do you suggest, Mr. Chandrasekhar Prabhu? Have it. A society does one, and each individual or a building does. Yeah. Okay. So that means many that goes because probably they see the numbers and that's why they will probably call us for a hearing. Otherwise, I was curious. Like I think similar question I have like Alan. In case they do not call us for this hearing, this is to you, Joachim Graves. Is that how do we move the court and which forum do we approach?
There are two things. They have an obligation to call you. Unless they find that your objection is valid and therefore they take some steps in pursuance of your objection. Okay. If suppose they are not convinced of your objections, you must have heard what are the objections raised. But it's a solitary objection, of about 3 people as compared to 2 lakhs of people. Whereas there are another 150 people who have given another type of objections. They may ignore because you can't expect them to go on for years together hearing people. So there'll be a system by which majority at least who have raised objections will be heard for sure.
And if we plan to go to court, we are going to hire Joachim Rees as an advocate, which we will do free of cost for us.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you for being patient. I want to thank all the speakers very much.
One thing which I want to remind you of, as the architect has said, whichever buildings societies constructed, old societies, which come within the CRZ zone, you get only one FSI. Tomorrow you want to demolish the building and reconstruct, you'll have a problem. Therefore, raise this objection to say that why should it be discriminated? Because in the island city they get 12.534. Yeah.
The CRZ point. What the DP report is saying is that the CRZ 1991, according to this, they are not applying the CRZ 1991 notification for CRZ 2 areas, which means the line that cuts through, which we were worried about, there won't be development restrictions in that buffer zone. CRZ 1, which is natural areas, and CRZ 3, which is Gautams with Kolivadas in the earlier CRZ 2 areas, only they will have restricted or no development.
See, there's a problem here because CRZ is not a state subject. CRZ is a central subject. So they can only suggest. They can't do anything of that nature. Depends upon central government whether they say yes or no. So that problem is also there. Okay.
When do we